So you have probably finished your activity with the feet on the floor. If you have done that, then we need to talk about what you felt. So the first time you put your foot on the floor, how did it feel? It's probably cold, right? Maybe a little chilly. So why do you think it was that way? Interesting. So then you picked your foot up after 2 to 3 minutes, and you had to put your other foot on top. And I said, even put the first foot down somewhere else on the floor and do a comparison. How was the floor under your second foot? It was warmer, right? Might not have been super warm, but it was a little bit warmer than when you put your foot in that spot the first time. So why do you think that was? So we're going to talk about why it did that. All right. So when you put your foot on the floor is already cold from the air around it and the temperature of the air. So the floor is conducting the temperature of the air into it. But is your body cold? I mean, put your hand here. Does your body feel cold like the floor? No, it's warm. So when you put your foot on the floor, the warmth from your foot is going into the floor and it's warming up that spot. That's why when you put your second foot on top of that first spot, it felt a little bit warmer than it did the first time. Might not have been a lot, but it does feel a little bit warmer. Here's why. In science, when it comes to matter, we have a couple of things. We have what we call conductors. That was your floor. A conductor, conductors allow heat and cold to pass through them. So think like a door. You can go in and out of a door. A conductor is like that with temperature. It allows heat and cold to go in and out, in and out, in and out. And so if you touch something and it feels cold, and then you touch something else and it feels warm, chances are it's a conductor. Especially if the air around it is cold and it's cold, or if the air around it is warm and it's warm. That's why you have to use certain things when you cook. Because if I put a metal spoon in a pot while I was cooking, that metal spoon would heat up and I would burn myself because it conducts heat. And I don't want to burn myself, so I'm not going to do that. So when I cook, I need something else. I need what's called an insulator. So an insulator is our next thing. Insulators keep heat in and cold out, or it doesn't just work that way. It can keep cold in and heat out. So it's like a closed door, and it doesn't allow anything in or out. So the heat stays on one side and the cold stays on the other. So this is kind of like your oven mitts that you use in the house to keep yourself from burning yourself. So now, you're going to create 2 signs. One needs to say insulators, and the other needs to say conductors, okay? And you're going to go around the house, and you're going to look for things that are insulators and things that are conductors. And you can have your parents help you if you like, because they probably know some. Like, for example, your coat. What do you think a coat does? When I first put my coat on in the morning, it's a little cold. But then the longer I leave it on, it heats up because it's keeping my body heat inside. So if it's keeping my body heat inside and not letting my body heat out, it's going to be an insulator because it's keeping that heat in. Okay? Now, I want you to think about your glass that you drink out of. When you put an ice cold beverage in your glass, on the outside of your glass, is it cold or hot? It's going to be cold because glass is a conductor. So now, you're going to take a photo when you're done of all the things that are conductors with your sign that says conductors. And you're going to take a photo of all your things you found that are insulators with your sign that says insulators so that you can show me what you found around your house that are insulators and conductors. Have fun!